feel free to download the full podcast on all major streaming sites, including iTunes, Apple Music and Spotify. Also, check out the KRN store and grab yourself the latest KRN merchandise and accessories using the keyword KRN10 for 10% discount on all purchases. Thanks for listening and enjoy the interview.
The way that I grew up, violence was really the norm. He come to court with 75 grand in a suitcase and they still would not give me bail. My punishment for that was a beating, and I had to sleep out in the cold in the back garden with my pants and a dog for warmth. You could be in the darkest moments of your life, but no, that doesn't last forever. And I will do everything for the rest of my life to help make change in young people. And that's what I was born for.
What was the turning point though that enabled you to go on this path from where you were, the path of insanity, this padded room? Was that the turning point there?
That was the turning point. That was a turning point. But making promises to myself that I'm never going to be violent. And I used to say, thank God no one's done it to me, but if someone was to come up and punch me on the jaw now, I'd probably go, look, is that it? Yeah. You know, come on, you need to be doing something else, because I ain't going to be violent towards anyone. Do you know what I mean? But along that path, I've been tested. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I've had people set me up for telling people that I've said shit that I've never said. Do you know what I mean? I've been tested. And so, you know, but me, violence, crime is done. During that initial period where you were sort of in the transition, yeah, what tools enabled you to not be violent? You must have, was it just determination? It's just determination and sick of the life you've had. and that, you know. So I remember every day of my life, two things: that padded cell and sitting in the prison cell crying. Them two things, every day I wake up, I remember them two things. That stopped me from going back to prison. And I'll never, ever, ever, ever forget that. That was my extreme. Do you know what I mean? And for crying, that's an emotion. So I could have been sitting there laughing, but it would have been slightly different. So I got to understand all my emotions and who I was and what I was about. And now I'm the person I am today. Do you know what I mean? So I've gone the full circle, and my whole life, I believe I've lived my life the way I lived it to be able to do what I do today. And that's change young people's lives. Because otherwise, if I didn't think that way, my life wouldn't make sense. It just would not make sense. There would be no meaning to my life. So I believed every lesson that I learned, because I take them lessons and I make them into workshops. So one of the workshops that I do is with young people, and it's identity. So at 14, if I said to you, who are you, Christian? You say, yeah, I'm funny, I'm generous, you know, I'm this, I engage with people, I'm sporty, I can, you know. It's only what your friends say about you. And you've heard them say, oh, Christian's nice. Do you know what I mean? Oh, he's generous, he always gives me something. But that's not you. That's not who you are. So I help young people find out who they are, not what people have the perception of them. Because a lot of people, they project that they're violent and they're hard, and they're really not. But it's the persona that they put on to be accepted. And so you think that's really is you. Defense mechanisms you will use, and then kid yourself. But it's not you. Do you know what I mean? So I know I'm the person I am today. I really am that person. I would do anything for anyone to help them. You know what I mean? There's nothing I wouldn't do to help someone. And I've helped a lot of kids, thank God. Indeed. So what was it that made you obviously start the charity? What year was this? So it's 6 years ago. So I had an idea to write a book. I was doing some motivational speaking. I was asked to write a book, and they said to me, look, you need to write a book. I said, what about it? He said, like Gangster Life. I said, shut the fuck up. I said, I'm a poor kid out of the East End of London that had no mentors and role models. They went, why about that then? So I went away and I wrote about that. And it's a real honest, but it's a great insight. So teachers use it, psychiatrists have read it, because it helps them understand the mind of a dysfunctional young person. Yes. Do you know what I mean? And that they can't get that out of a book that they read, because that's all we only know about what we read in the straight world. If you live that straight world, you only know about what you read. All your education, all your understanding comes from a book. And for someone to write a book and give you an insight into dysfunction into a young person, that's key.
Priceless.
That's priceless, because now all these medics that are working with these young people, they've got a bit of an insight. You know, well, you know what? I read something. He's portraying the same signs as what he was, because I open up my whole life. You know, so you know, part of this, you know, I want to be a gangster and all that. I was so, you know, young boys, as we know, if their parents don't tell them to wash, they're filthy. You know, especially between, you know, the early years of your life. I was filthy. I was running about in the street all the time, you know, and I was just filthy dirty. And I remember one day the teacher, because, see, the person that fathered me he was an animal. And I remember being boisterous, only messing about. Right? I didn't understand the consequences. You know, a dumbbell.
Yep.
So I put a dumbbell on top of the door, left the door open a little bit, and I called my little brother. He was downstairs. I said, come up. I didn't understand the consequences of it.
Yep.
So my little brother comes through this door, but as he comes through, it misses him and it drops through the floor, and the floor's wooden and it breaks. Right, and you can hear the noise. My punishment for that was a beating, and I had to sleep out in the cold in the back garden with my pants and a dog for warmth. You tell me how that don't fuck someone up. And I slept out there and I cuddled that dog just so I could be warm. That was my punishment for it. When it should have been, look, sit me down and said to me, do you know what could have happened to your little brother? And make me understand the seriousness of it. Because I thought it was a joke.
Yep.
You know, I just thought it was a joke. I didn't understand that could have hit him on the head and smashed his skull open and he would have died.
You're misguided, then you got abused for it, created trauma in you.
Yeah.
And it's...
Yeah. This man was, you know, he was just unbelievable. I could be bamboo sticks. You ever been eaten by a bamboo stick?
Thankfully.
Well, let me tell you. So when I was at school, the teachers would give you the cane from it, and they'd put your hand out and they'd go like that. When they used to do it to me, I never used to move, because I used to have that across my arse, across my back, across the top of my legs, and everywhere else it would hit me. Mops, everything. Whatever was near this bloke, he'd hit you with it. So, you know, it was terrible. And so the washing. I went to school one day in primary school, and the teacher says PE. I never had a PE kit. And because my clothes was all down for my brothers and sisters, so I was wearing clothes that they, you know, wore and grown out of. That was my clothing until I, you know, started getting involved in crime, you know, 12, 13, 14, 15, where I can get money and I can buy stuff myself. And as I said, I used to put cornflakes boxes and sellotape in my shoes to keep them together, because by the time I got something, they might have been worn out by my brother. Do you know what I mean? And so the teacher says you have to do it in your pants. Well, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, this can't happen. This can't happen, please. This can't happen. So I make excuses to the teacher, so I need to go to the toilet. She says, okay, go to the toilet. I go to the toilet and I'm in there. I take off my shoes, I take off my socks, and my feet are black. If you've ever seen a homeless person, right, their feet are black. My nails was black. I had dirt in between my feet, filthy black, all the way up to here, to my sock, like, you know, up to here. It was just filthy black. So I went into the toilet and I put my foot down the toilet, flushed the chain, and I washed my feet. Flushed the chain, I washed my feet. I'd done that to both of my feet, and I went back into the teacher and I done PE in my pants. I just could not accept the shame. And so that's left me with something. Part of my addiction is I have to have new shoes. And so these were only a couple of weeks old. I have to have new shoes all the time. Do you know what I mean? If you ever see me, you'll see me. Gary's got a new pair of shoes on today. And I've got more shoes than Imelda Marcos. Underneath my bed there's shoes, in the garage there's shoes, everywhere there's shoes. And that stayed with me. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm never ever going to be like that again. But I'm not going to go and nick the money to go and get that. That's never going to happen. Do you know what I mean? So buy it when you've got a few quid.
Indeed. So an important question, I feel like, in order for you to be the rounded person you are today, you obviously had to get rid of the anger that's inside you.
Yeah.
In order to do that, have you had to forgive your father? I know it sounds strange.
So I don't think that's a sort of crime that you can actually forgive. And so one of my brothers took him in and lived with him. And I told you about my daughter, my sister's. She's my daughter. It's my sister's kid. She wanted some questions answered, so she went to a couple of her uncles, and she went to the one that took him in, and she asked him some questions, and he told her that he died. So for me, that was, and this was only in the summer that I found out he died 3 years ago, and to me that was such a release. Do you know what I mean? It was such a release. Not that I give a shit if he was alive or dead. Do you know what I mean? But I felt like that was brilliant. Thank God. Do you know what I mean? This man ain't breathing the same air as all of us.
Yeah.
And so that was the release. But you know,
how did you deal with it on a day-to-day basis without having your brain infested with the anger and stuff?
You know, so I did try to kill him. You know, one day, he. Me and one of my brothers was walking along, and he come walking along towards us, and he was with my sister, and I don't know if it was the fear of seeing me or whatever, but he had a heart attack and dropped on the floor, and someone come to me afterwards and said to me, "There's an ambulance, they're taking him away, he's had a heart attack, he's dying," and I just said to him, "Look, just go and tell someone who cares, because I don't give a shit." But I changed by then, but before that, I wanted to kill him, and I tried to kill him. You know what I mean? This man should not have been breathing the same air as us. Do I feel like that today? I don't like these people still, but I don't want to inflict any pain on them.
But it's, the problem is when you've got that deep-seated anger, sometimes that can turn into those criminal ways, and when you start hurting people, and it's just. I just want to know the tools.
It hasn't happened, and I've been tested, and I'll tell you why I've been tested.
Yep.
It's a story that's unbelievable. So I believe everything that happens in my life happens for a reason. People contact you for a reason. Never let anyone cross your path until you've had a chat with them. For instance, So I've got a group called London Giving. So I go out every weekend, I give to the homeless. And I give them clothes, sleeping bags. People donate. And someone wanted to join that group. And I see, they're a script writer and all this, that and the other. So I thought, you're crossing my path. So I asked them, I said, "Are you interested in writing a script?" Because I've had people ask me for scripts and all that before, but if someone walks across my path, then I don't want to make a film, but if someone crossed my path, then I believe that's been given to me for higher being. So I investigate, and I say to them, like, are you interested in writing a film? What are you doing? Blah blah blah. And I always give someone the time of day, because I believe that you cross my path for a reason. And so how I was tested, I was asked to work with a young person. Before that, I was doing a project in a young offenders prison, and the project was to go onto the wing and go into each cell. They was all in segregation. These young people, they was all like 15 to 21, and they was all in the segregation unit. And my thing was, I had to go into every single one of them and work with them for an hour and find out what they want to do, what's been happening, blah blah blah. And this kid, I was looking at this young kid, and I just kept looking at him, and I thought, "You're not a criminal. There's no way you're a criminal." So I went back outside, because I used to tell the prisons that I can't work with sex offenders, because I was damaged from this person. It damaged me, and I said, "I don't want to work with sex offenders. Don't want to do it." And I was looking at this kid, and I thought, "No, you're not a criminal." So I went back outside to the prisoner. I said, "Look, I'm working with that kid, but I'm going through the motions, but it keeps coming into my head that he's not a criminal." And he went, "I'm sorry." I said, "What do you mean sorry?" He went, "I shouldn't have let you go in that cell." I said, "Why?" He went, "He's a sex offender. He's been raping his 18-month-old sister." Oh my God. So I went to him, "Look, I can't go carry on today." I said, "I'll come back another day, but I can't come today." I said, "My head's fucked now, you just fucked me." And I went, right? And I could still see this kid. So I'm doing lots of different things. And I was asked to work with a sex offender privately. I've done it.
I think that shows the steps in your mental recovery at that point.
And I've done it, and he was a younger sex offender, and I've done it.
Well done for doing that.
Yeah, I've done it. Yeah, I've done it, and so I know I've changed.
Yes.
I know I've changed. I've gone complete full circle.
You've clearly changed.
Yeah, I've gone. There's no violence in me. There's no anger. I don't want to hurt people.
Look what you're doing now. Look what you were doing.
Yeah.
Like I said, less talk, look at actions. And so I like to look at someone, what they're doing. And
but see, one of the things, as I was saying, so what I done was, so during COVID, I never done this before in my life, but I want to tell you this, because this is unbelievable. I applied for some jobs, right? So you get to DBS and all that, and people was like blanking me. But you could see everything this person's done. He's worked with government bodies, he's worked with local authorities, he's done this, he's a CEO and founder of a charity, he's a motivational speaker, he's an author, he's done all this.
Haven't been in trouble for over 20 years.
Yeah, right? And they're blanking me.
Why?
One of them blanked me for this job. But they contacted me. Guess what they wanted me to do? They wanted me to train their staff.
It's even better, isn't it?
I turned it down.
Why?
Because I thought to myself, right, you don't want me per se, as a person that's come for you that wants a job, but you want me to train your staff. That's not right.
Well, it seems like maybe a hidden compliment.
Yeah, no, there is a compliment in there. Yeah, but there is a compliment in there, but that's wrong. Do you know what I mean? You want me now, but they wanted me to come and do it free.
Yeah, no, that's not right.
They wanted me to come and do it free. They wanted me to train all their staff.
Yeah, that's not right.
Yeah, and I was like, thank you very much, but you know, I don't think I've got the time. Because I've been involved in training prison officers and
that's awesome.
Yeah, and so the book is stored in young offenders prisons in the libraries. So any young person, if you've got a phone, no, you haven't got a phone, you're not watching this on your cell, but you can go to the library and get the book. And so since I've been doing these podcasts, a lot of people have been contacting me. I want to send a book to. I said, and I've told them, you know, get your young person to go into the prison library, because Feltham's got loads of them. So if your prison ain't got it, write off to Feltham, get the librarian to write off to Feltham, and you can get the book sent to the prison. Yeah. And
so you've got plans for a second book to come out?
Yeah, that's all been written.
Okay.
But as I told you about this life, someone's took me a court because they don't want me to write about something.
Can you not use a pseudonym or anything like
that? No,
this?
because I'm too straight. I just want to tell things how it is. If you've done something wrong, then that's your fault. You know, it's not bad, but it's just something someone doesn't want someone to know.
And you're not telling Desiree, you're telling your story.
Yeah, I'm telling it's my story. It happened to me.
And so when you're hoping for this court case to sort of hopefully disappear, and hopefully the book will come out at some point this year?
Yeah, hopefully later on this year. But you know, everything you go through is for a reason. It is for a reason, you know. But you've got to push through these things. People say to me, how did you do this? It's just because I've got a burning sensation inside me to want to help people change their lives. You know, and people can contact me and I will help you 24 hours a day, because I don't want anyone to go anywhere near our helping.
It's inspirational.
Yeah, I just want to help people. It's not for fame, it's not for money, because I'm not getting no money for this. I'm not getting no money for...
I think you'd be doing something different if it's for fame and money, you know?
Yeah. You know, and so, but yeah, I just want to help people change their lives. And if my life story can help them, so be it. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to let you ask me some questions, and I want you to ask me 5 very important questions, and I will answer them as honestly as I can.
Talk to me. The most important one is, what is Product of a Postcode going to be doing going forward in the future? What are the plans for it?
Right.
And what are you going to be up to?
Yeah, so Product of a Postcode. So I set up this platform for anyone to jump on that wants to do good. It's not about me. It's not about, you know, Gary Hutton per se. It's Product of a Postcode. And so it's a platform for doing good. So I've worked in every organisation that work with young people. So I've been around them all, you know, and I've helped them set up stuff and moving forward. And I know there's something missing, but I can't tell you the details of it because someone will go and do it. But we've got plans. We've got plans to open up a centre across the country to help young people, because the key to life is education. And without education, there's stumbling blocks at every corner. And so education is key, but any form of education. You know, we're all... See, academia is great in the wrong hands. If it's in the hands of an idiot, it ain't no good. You know what I mean? So you can take your learnings in life and it can give you what you want, but you have to develop a passion at a very young age, because that will give you everything you want. You're doing what you do because it's a passion. I'm doing what I do because I've developed a passion.
Yeah.
And so it will give you everything you want in life. But if you decide to do something that you're not passionate about, you're only going to do it for 6 weeks. And you'll struggle out them 6 weeks. And then you'll be doing something else. And then you drop out and you might start selling drugs. And then you might start doing this. You have to find something you're passionate about at a very young age. So what we want to do as a charity, but because of COVID and things have to be on hold because, you know, and funding and things like that, If you're in the funding world, you need to contact me because that's a specialty.
But that's my sort of next question. Obviously, you're not running a profit-making organisation. This is a charity that's invested to try and help people.
So I'll tell you what I've done. So it's now 6 years, but for 5 years I wanted to prove you can do so much without getting funding and ask people for money. So everything that the charity's done for 5 years was done with no money and not asking people for a penny. So now, give me the money and I'll show you what I can do.
But that's it, because obviously without the money, it's a hands-on thing, and you can be going around doing all the work on your own. But so, in order to spread the message more, you need to get funded, and people need to look into this.
But it was a thing that I wanted to do. I just wanted to prove what you could do for 5 years without any money and asking no one for nothing.
You showed the message first, didn't you?
Yeah, and so I got 40 disengaged young people, and I put them in TKO boxing gym. Johnny Eames, he does great work in the East End. And they was trained by professional trainers for 10 weeks. Their diets was changed, their fitness, everything. And then I went and hired Dual Call in Bethnal Green, the home of British boxing.
Of course, didn't it?
And we got 2 teams up out of these young people, and they all fought each other. But they didn't go in there fighting. We said, look, we just want you to go in there and just show what you've done over the last 10 weeks. They all thought they was like pro boxers.
Fantastic experience. I saw it on YouTube now, isn't it? It's,
pro boxers, and so then they went and got jobs. They all changed their lives. You know what I mean? And they see life differently now. But that wouldn't have happened. That wouldn't have happened. And that night, so there's a funny story. So the publishers, they said to me, look, write this book. And so I wrote the book, and they said to me, I said, so what's the deal then? Like, how does the money get divvied up? And they said, right, so where can they sell the book for $13.99, $15.99, and we're going to give you £2.75? So I went, really? And they said, yeah.
And that's much better than most get.
No, listen. So I said, but I've done this for nothing, because I'm going to put it all into a charity, and you want to take a tenner? I said, how the fuck is that fair? I said, do something. They said, no, that's how we work. I said, well then you ain't publishing the book. I was telling this story on a radio interview, and someone phoned up and said, if you never tell anyone who I am, I will print all your books and 100% can go to the charity. So I said, okay, I'll never tell anyone who you was. But the publisher said to me, if you don't go with us, you're never going to sell 5,000 books in your whole life. I sold 5,000 books on the first day.
What do they know?
That's that scenario. If you drop me off in the desert, I will be selling the best sand anyone's ever sold. So I took all them lessons I learned, and now I use it in the real world. And so if you have to jump over, you go round, you go under, but you don't break the law. You just make it happen. And so I'm a survivor, so I will make things happen, and I will do everything for the rest of my life to help make change in young people. And that's what I was born for.
Indeed.
That's the reason I was born.
So for any young men who are watching this at the moment, who are on a slightly troubled path, in the wrong sort of circles, and obviously they're listening to this story and resonating with them, and they want to change before they have to feel it and go to prison, all this sort of stuff, what's the first step these people can take and sort of self-help themselves? You have to look at yourself, because you know that you've been masking and you've been venting for a long while, through your life. So when I talk about, so I've done a workshop on venting. So young people, so I've got the hump with you, right? And I want to come, and I come up to you and I look angry and I say, you fucking bastard, you think, well, this is how my head used to think. I used to think when people was coming up to you doing that, they're going to kill you. So I would do something for you to stop me killing you. But you actually just wanted to stand there and vent and say, Gary, you fat, ugly fucking bastard. And then you wanted to walk off. That's all you wanted to do. But until you understand that people are venting, do you know what I mean? Because you vent and you get yourself into a lot of trouble. So what I would say to young people is really take a look at yourself, right? Understand the path that you're actually on. You can get off that path, but you have to look at yourself first. Don't be blaming everyone and think, oh yeah, there's Mark. It's you. You're in control. It's your choices. Every day you make the choice. You make them choices. I don't make them choices. Your friend don't make them choices. You make them choices. So now you have to start thinking about making the right choices, and the right choices for you. Because I will ask you this, and I say this to young people, right? Is would you want your life for your children? And every kid I've said that to across the country have said no. And I say to them, Why the fuck do you want it for your life then if you don't want it for someone else? Ask yourself that question. Do you want your life for your children and your grandchildren? No, you don't. So you have to ask yourself that question. So I used to work, so being a motivational speaker, part of my talk was that, you know, I've got 6 of the most streetwise kids you'll ever meet. Never sat on a street corner. Anywhere they wanted to go, I would take them. They've been through college, university, all done brilliantly. And I used to say, you know, one of my kids is going to have children and they're going to take them out into the suburbs and live in this little village and have a lovely life. My son moved and asked me to come to him, right? And I made my way there, hour and a half drive. I'm out in the middle of the country and I get to this little village and there's a no entry sign with a duck in the middle of it. It's a duck crossing. And I punched the air and went, yes. So everyone can do it. Everyone can do it. And there's something I do want to tell you, young people, or anybody going through anything, and you must get this in your head. Nothing lasts forever. That's good or bad. So if you're going through a bad situation, it doesn't last forever. So knowing that there's light at the end of the tunnel, because my next book is called Out of the Darkness into the Light, knowing that nothing lasts forever, but really understanding you could be in the darkest moments of your life, but no, that doesn't last forever. It feels terrible and it feels like it's gone on for years and years and years, and it could be going on for 3 months, but it doesn't last. And you have to understand it doesn't last, but it's how you come out the other end, and you have to prepare yourself. Nothing lasts forever, good or bad.
Indeed. And something I try and highlight to people like yourself, former career criminals, is the chances of success in that criminal world. It's lottery chances, isn't it? Lottery percentages.
Prison is full of them.
Yeah.
So, you know, so if we take the football scenario, there's 92 professional clubs, right? And so they only want 11 players, first team players, to be their professionals. How many people take part in football? Millions and millions and millions and millions. There's only a certain few that actually make it out of their millions to play in a football team. There is only a very, very, very small percentage of people that earn millions and millions and millions of pounds out of crime. Because you all think, you know, when you start off shoplifting, you think you're going to become a millionaire through crime. No, you're not. It's very, 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 it's minute, the percent. Minute. The people that actually go on and have a lovely life, they don't even have a lovely life. Something terrible happens.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? But there's a very small percentage of people that actually earn money out of crime.
So what about the chances of ending up in prison if you're a criminal?
Oh my God. So the law of averages tell you, right? And so I work off 1 in 10. So if I commit 10 crimes, I'm going to prison. So if you're out there every day committing crime, you're going to go to prison.
It's not going to take long.
No. If I do the lottery, there is one day I'm going to win a pound. I might not win the million, but I'm going to win a pound. I might win 2 quid. I might win a tenner if I'm lucky. Well, you taking part in crime, you will end up nicked. You will end up in the court system. You will end up in the prison system because you've took part. If you take part in the normal world and you go to work 8 days a week and you're on time, you get promoted. You save up, you go on holiday, you buy nice cars. These things happen. You know what I mean? Them things happen. That's the progression. If you take part in crime, you have to go to prison.
And there's no progression. It's treading water. It might seem like you're climbing and progressing, but you're really not.
No, you're actually climbing the walls to prison.
Yeah. So
that's what you're doing.
The wrong way rather than...
Yeah, you're actually climbing the walls to prison. That is exactly what you're doing.
In the
yeah, you're banging on that door. You're banging on that door, and one day they're going to open it for you. You don't have to climb the wall. They're going to open that door for you. You're going to walk straight in. Because if you take part in crime and it becomes your norm, the law of averages tells you you have to go to prison.
Yep.
You have to. So, you know, if that's your aspirations to go to prison, you need to have a really serious think.
Well, like I said, this no one aspires to it. Everyone believes that they're going to be this multi-millionaire and they're going to make all this and that, but that's not happening. And this, like Gary just said, unless you want to go to prison, you're not going to see the millions. Unless you want to go to prison, change the path you're on, and start being productive.
Yeah, you have to, and it's all your choices. I will tell you a quick story. So, I was getting home leave, and it was the 4th of June. And someone from the 60s, a major criminal, was going out the gate at the same as me. He was on my wing, right? And we was going out the gate together, and we're in, like, you know, one gate shut behind us, and they're going to open up the gate, and whoever's waiting for us is going to be there. And he's standing next to me. This man, at one time, nicked more money in any crime, right? And we were standing there together, and he said to me, "Oh, Gal," he started shouting. I said, "What's the matter?" He went, "I don't know if I can fucking drive." He's been in prison so long. He said, "I don't know if I said, "Shut up, fuck's sake, someone's out there, they're going to drive for you." He went, "Yeah, all right." "Oh, yeah, that's right." He was losing it. He just, society, you know, he's been away such a long time. One day, I wrote about this in my book, he said to me, I was sitting by the phone, he said, "How long you..." No, I said, he was sitting by the phone, I said to him, "How long have you been waiting?" And he went, 17 years, 6 months, 28 days, blah, 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 17 hours. I said, "What are you talking about?" "I'm just, the phone, waiting to use the phone." He went, "I thought you told me how long I've been waiting to go home." He was making tuna bolognese. But, you know, this was a major criminal. But prisoner, you know...
It's probably you get these long sentences and people are going to be institutionalised, and some people never come back from it. And so...
Yeah.
I want to highlight how important choices are.
Yeah, but it's nothing to be proud of, doing all these prison sentences. It basically... So, So, I was a good footballer. And when I changed my life, I coached at semi-pro level. Because I had a passion for football, so I coached it and I, you know, helped some young people. So I relate to football scenarios. So what you just said there. So if there's, sorry, I forgot what I was going to say. You're gonna have to stop there. What did you just say?
So you're talking about the old major criminal and...
Yeah. So, you know, being a major criminal. So I relate it back to this. So if you take part in football, you're going to win trophies, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to do that. If you take part in crime, you know, you will end up getting that trophy. But it's nothing to be proud of. It's not like, "Oh, I've won the FA Cup, look at me, I've achieved something," which people do. Do you know what I mean? People glamorise it, and, you know, this ain't no message that we should be giving out to young people. That is not the message we should be giving out. So I believe, right, I've been given a hook. So I go into the score, sorry I didn't bring it today, but the front page of News of the World, we smashed £5 million. I'm a fisherman. I throw that hook out. Kids see that, and they go, "Oh, wow." But now I've got you, and now I'm going to reel you in on that hook, and I'm going to help to change your life. I've been given that. I'm a fisherman, and I'm fishing all the time for young people. So, you know, I bring them in, and I tell them the way forward, and what we're going to do to change your life. But see, a lot of young people get let down by people, especially people that's working in, you know, "Oh yeah, we do this for you, we do that for you." I never tell anyone I'll do nothing for you. I say, "Watch what I do for you. Just watch what I do for you. I'm not going to tell you what I do, just watch it. And I will help you change your life." Because I know I've been let down. Someone telling me, "Yeah, I'll do this for you, I'll do that for you, I'll do that for you." You know, fuck all. You can't do that to a young person, especially a person that comes from, you know, that's a disengaged, you know, disruptive background.
Yeah, you can't destroy people's hopes.
No, you can't tell them you can do everything from do nothing.
So, at the moment in London and even in the UK, the problems are huge, aren't they, at the moment?
Yeah.
The government's not doing enough. So, like I said, it's so important that people fund organisations like yourself.
Yeah.
And to tell people where they can sort of reach out and where they can do this.
So so knife crime is prevalent. You know, everyone wants to get on knife crime to try and fix it, but it's so dysfunctional. There's so many people trying to do it, but they don't want to help one another. They don't, you know, organisations are like, you know, "Oh yeah, keep it to myself." It's, you know, you can't be like that. It's a platform to do good. If you set up a platform, it's a platform to do good, and anyone can jump on it. I put up a post the other day on social media, product of a postcode on Facebook, and it had a big knife on it. It had the charity logo, this logo, and it had the words, "Carry a knife, get 10 to life," right? And I put it out on Facebook in all different groups and things like that. And people was like, it was starting debate, which I wanted it to do. I wanted it to start debate. Should you get 10 years? Should you get life for carrying a knife? Should it be 10 to life? We have to in law, you have to put a deterrent. So they say, you know, "Oh, you get 25 years for a serious armed robbery." It depends how much you nicked. If you get 25 years. If you've done an armed robbery and you only nicked £5,000, you ain't getting 25 years. So in law, these things are put in place as deterrents. So that should be a law. You get 10 to life, because they tried it with. They brought in a law, right, whereby even if you was there, you know, you was getting the same as the person that dug the knife in.
Yeah, joint enterprise.
Yeah, joint enterprise, right? And so, but they brought that in because there was 20 kids at a train station a few years back, and they all ran on the platform and they stabbed a kid. But they didn't know, you know, but they thought everyone should be, so they brought in this new law. It was a deterrent, because a lot of young people ended up in prison doing a life sentence, so he was only there going, look, oh my God, but if I tell you now I'm going to go and stab that geezer, you're getting done for it and all, because I told you.
So I've grown up with these laws in place, so I'm not going to be around people who are going to do this stuff, so it did work.
Yeah, so it did work. It did work for some, but there was some at first that got put in for life.
That's the lessons that people have to pick out, isn't it?
Yeah, and so... you know, 10 to life for carrying a knife. It should be, but it would act as a deterrent for young people to think twice, thinking, you know what, I can, because at the minute you can still get 18 months. You know, if I take this knife out, I can get 10 years just for carrying it.
Yeah. So
it started debate. Do you know what I mean? It started debate, and you know, but it's so deep now because of funding. You know, across the country 10 years ago, they slowly took money away from youth centres and youth clubs and things like that. That's why now there's so many boxing clubs opening up. People are doing it and funding it themselves. You know what I mean? Just to get people off the street.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is someone that's, you know, a bit handy with a pair of gloves. He's decided to open up a club to help the young kids.
And I saw, it's obviously boxing's one of the ones that helps.
Yeah.
Kids who are sort of the wrong path more than any other.
It's a great tool. I've done projects around that sort of thing.
Did you see the COVID funding bill about a month ago when they done it? They gave 300 million to sports in this country, and not a pound went to boxing.
No, I know. Yeah. So boxing is a great a great tool. So the art of boxing is so mental. It's unreal. Do you know what I mean? See, and you have to. It's not like football. So I could get 50 kids say, right, we're going to do football. You can run about on that pitch. You don't have to engage. You can hide. Rugby, you can hide. Yes. You don't have to have the ball. Definitely. But you can just run about.
Yeah.
In boxing, no one's going to throw a punch for you and no one's going to defend you.
Yeah.
You have to do it yourself. So you have to engage in boxing, and you have to be mentally aware as well. So it gets young people thinking. It's a great... Honestly, boxing is one of the best things that you could do. Do you know what I mean? As a young person. Because it teaches you discipline. You know... You never see boxers having a tear up in the street from a young age. Do you know what I mean? I've been around lots of boxers growing up. Yep. They never have a tear up in the street because they're disciplined. You know, they understand that, you know, I can actually hurt someone.
Yeah, I'm a believer of everything you just said. I took my 6-year-old boxing this morning.
Yeah.
And you see all the young men in the boxing gym, and they're very respectful, disciplined. Yeah. They're not out on the streets. They're not doing drugs.
So I was in, as I said, in... Johnny Eames's gym, TKO in Canning Town, and I was there for like months, and Anthony Yard was in there as a young boy. My God, did that kid have some manners. My young boy, right, he was, I don't know, 15, 16 at the time, he was overweight. He got inside my young boy's head, and honestly, the pictures of the transformation over them 3 months is unbelievable. He was on at my kid inside his head, and it's, you know, we knew he was going to go and do it. He was so disciplined. I've never seen anyone train like this young man, Anthony Yard. Unbelievable. But so respectful, doesn't speak over a whisper.
Great story, and he's still, to this day, doesn't talk badly of anyone or anything.
No, brilliant. I've got nothing but respect for him.
Great success story, because he didn't really get the start, wasn't in boxing as a kid, and he turned his life around through boxing.
He's a product of a postcode. Just like everyone else, because Anthony had a bit of a bad start.
Absolutely, so he could have gone the other way, and he chose not to by making the correct decisions.
He met one of my best friends I grew up with, Tony Cisse. Tony Cisse was...
I know Tony Cisse is a great boxer, and obviously does lots of work with children. There's lots of work, and there's lots of these unheralded coaches.
Yeah, he trained all the boxers in that thing I done.
Yeah.
So me and Tony used to play football, and we was playing semi-pro when we was younger.
Yeah.
Tony hurt his ankle. And he said to me, I'll never forget, he said to me, Gal, I'm going to go to Repton because I can't do this, it's too physical. And then he went in the ABAs, he represented Great Britain, and I was like, Tony, you ain't playing football no more. But I still with
Tony. I think you made the right choice with that.
No, brilliant.
Brilliant. Good. But like I said,
he does so much.
So many pro coaches out there getting all the limelight, doing all the interviews, and there's people like Tony.
Tony feeds the boxers to all these.
I know.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Tony, honestly. Tone, love you. Yeah, no, he's brilliant. Tony's absolutely brilliant.
So yeah, everyone reach out to Tony Cisse as well. But so tell people where they can reach out to you, Gary. So is it a website?
Through the website. There's going to be some links underneath this, I believe.
Absolutely.
So
we have the links below for the website, the Facebook, the book, which is on Amazon.
So if you buy the book on Amazon, it's just basically it's a £3 donation. And it's always been £3. It was never £15. It was never 20 quid. It was tenner. It was £3 from the start.
Fantastic.
And it's there. You can buy it. If you leave a review, it helps the charity. I wanted to thank everyone, right? And I could not find a way of thanking anyone that's read and left a review. And this was my way of doing these podcasts, of thanking people. Because I couldn't find a way of thanking them physically. Because some of the things that people have said and how it's changed them and made them understand, it just blows me away. And so I thank everyone that's left a review. And if I could shake your hand, I'd shake your hand. But this is my way. This is why I wanted to start doing podcasts, just to thank people, just to thank them.
And so for people, there's going to be lots of people out there who want to book you up for motivational speaking gigs, stuff like this.
Yeah.
And how would they go about that? Would that be through LinkedIn or something like this rather than social media?
I think there's also going to be a link. You can go on you can go on the internet. And
we'll put the links below though.
Yeah, you can go on the internet. If you tap in Gary Hutton, it comes up with my motivational agent, or there's another agent on this little lady agency. They booked me motivation speaking.
If anyone who wants to book Gary up, all links will be below in the description box.
Yeah.
And please get in touch and help him to carry on sharing the message.
Yeah, please do.
And doing his work. And is there anything else you wanted to touch on at all today, Gary?
If there's any organisation out there that you're struggling, I'm an ideas man. If there's any organisation that think, I want to do something but I'm not too sure, contact me, I'll advise you. And I will help you, set it up and things like that, because I'm also an advisor as well. And so I advise organisations on what to do, schools, and what to do, how to engage with young people. So, if there's any of that, you need someone you can't quite work out, then come to me and I will definitely help you.
Well, Gary, I'd just like to say a big thank you for today. And I'd like to sort of commend you on the work that you're doing and keep sharing that message. Let's try and get it far and wide.
Yes, please.
Let's try and help some of those young men and young lady who are on the troubled path.
Yeah.
To stop them having to go down the road of destruction and suffering and trauma.
Please.
And sort of face your demons early.
Yeah, there's so many young people in prison now that are suffering with trauma, but not realising, not connecting their violent outbursts and their behaviour. They're not connecting it to the trauma that they suffered.
And there's an important thing that I think we should leave people with, the saying that you said earlier, when you show me your friends, show me your family, show me your and I'll show you your future.
Yeah, show me your friends, show me your friends, show me your family, show me your mentors and your role models, more importantly, and I will show you your future. And I've done it so many times.
Because when you're in the bubble, you don't normally see it, and you think that, no, it's not about who I'm around or anything. I can do what I want to do, but it really, these people are creating your future without you knowing it.
Yeah, they're very close to you.
So everyone's right down, everyone that you've got around you on a piece of paper, then maybe when you see it in front of you in black and white, then maybe you'll be able to...
We're all a product of a postcode, and our mentors and our role models are all in our postcodes. These are the people that give us, our first look into the world of lessons, teachings. These are the people, they're so close to us. And between the ages of, 5 and 10, that's where all our lessons are taken in, even if you take them in subconsciously.
Yeah.
They're the lessons, and they're the people that are in your postcode. We're all a product of a postcode.
It's all subconscious at those ages, isn't it?
Yeah.
So like I said, choose your surroundings carefully, choose your company carefully, make the right choices, guys.
Yeah, don't be a follower. They're your choices, your life, your choices. No one, let me tell you, no one sits in a prison cell with you. You sit in there alone and you cry. Your choice. Your choice.